I'm going to show you the third level of instinct mode, the Shinken form.
So I'll finally face the fusion of the Grand Priest and the Supreme King. This is gonna be fun!
In the previous episode, Omnigoku ended up in a dimension where all beings are fusions. There, he faced and defeated Whirus, the fusion of Bills and Whis, considered the most powerful in that entire reality, second only to the Grand King. With his victory, the Omniscient earned the right to meet the Supreme Being. But before that, he visited the planet of fusions, where Gogeta, Vegito, and several inhabitants were corrupted by the energy of an agent of the Lord of Chaos. Omnigoku freed everyone, even Whirus himself, and then set out for the final encounter. Upon arriving, he discovered the truth. The Grand King was a fusion of Zeno and Shinken, and this entity didn't seem happy to see him at all. The battle was about to begin.
Hakai.
Zenshin, the fusion of the god and the supreme angel, begins to emanate his ki. For almost anyone, the power level Zenshin is giving off right now would go unnoticed. Since the manifestation of his ki is subtle, it doesn't cause any kind of anomaly in the surroundings or anything like that. However, for Omnigoku, whose senses surpass the ordinary, it's clear how absurdly powerful this being is, a power on a level beyond everything that exists in this reality. Wasting no time, knowing that the one before him could in fact hurt him, Omnigoku transforms into his Shinken form, becoming Goku Prime, while staring at him with a piercing gaze, full of bloodlust contained by a neutral demeanor worthy of someone who is half angel. Zenshin comments that it looks like Goku is already starting off using his most powerful form. Goku Prime answers with a somewhat tense smile, saying that if he lets his guard down for even a millisecond, he could already be killed by Zenshin, so it's not a good idea to hold back here, since Zenshin is not the kind of opponent whose power needs to be tested. Zenshin praises Goku for recognizing this, and then asks if he still thinks it's a good idea to let those two try anything against him. Goku Prime is not surprised that Zenshin noticed this plan, and then he replies that of course he doesn't think it's a good idea. Goku Prime snaps his fingers, and then behind Zenshin appear Gogeta and Vegito, revealed to be there all along, respectively transformed into Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. Both were ready to attack Zenshin, and are shocked that Goku Prime revealed their presence like that. Vegito asks why Goku did this, and Gogeta complains that they were ready to immobilize Zenshin if necessary. Goku Prime answers them that, seeing Zenshin's power, it became clear to him that this would never have worked. Goku had used his powers to make Vegito and Gogeta invisible to the eyes, and also erase their key presence, so their energy couldn't be sensed. Yet even so, Zenshin was able to notice them. If his senses were capable of overpowering Goku's concealment, then that means lower level warriors like Vegito and Gogeta would never even be able to hurt him. Zenshin is simply on another level. Gogeta asks if Goku at least knows whether Zenshin is the one he was looking for. After sensing a bit of Zenshin's energy, Goku Prime has his answer. He says yes, Zenshin is tainted by the energy of the Lord of Chaos, and that must be the reason why so much discord exists in this reality, such as the discord between the peoples of Gogeta and Vegito. Vegito then says that he and Gogeta should make Zenshin pay for this, since that bastard was the one responsible for making their people suffer so much in this war. But Goku says no, and orders them both to stay away from Zenshin, because there is absolutely no chance of them winning. Without even waiting for their agreement, Goku Prime, with just a motion of his hand, teleports Gogeta and Vegito from where they were to Whirus' side, and orders the three of them to leave immediately because this is no place for them. Zenshin looks at the three with a deadly glare, especially at Whirus, who was his subordinate and yet betrayed his sovereign. Realizing that the wrath of the almighty Zenshin had been caused by him, Whirus thinks of leaving right away, fearing retaliation. He then calls for Gogeta and Vegito to get out with him, but the moment they even think of moving, their bodies are completely paralyzed. The one responsible was Zenshin, who, with nothing but the power of his will, froze their bodies entirely. Goku Prime realizes what just happened, and he praises Zenshin, since his power is truly absolute when it comes to the beings of this reality, given that just the power of his will was enough to establish a rule within existence, the rule that these three could not move, no matter how much they tried. Zenshin also praises Goku for his sharpness in understanding what had happened. He says he calls this ability Sovereign Wish, and indeed, no being beneath him is capable of even reacting to his will. If he wished for the hearts of those three to stop beating right now, for example, it would happen according to his will. That is the difference between his power and the power of those he rules. But he admits that, unfortunately, it won't be so easy dealing with Goku, since Goku, just like him, stands on a level above those who live in this reality. Goku Prime proves Zenshin right, also directing the power of his will toward Virus, Gogeta, and Vegito, allowing them to move again. And, after doing so, he extends his hands toward the three and makes them vanish from the scene to Zenshin's irritation. Goku Prime says that Zenshin is right. He doesn't belong to this reality. He came into this reality only to fulfill his duty as an Omniscient and to find the agent of the Lord of Chaos. Zenshin says that Goku found who he wanted, and now he's going to regret it. Zenshin makes a movement with his arm, and suddenly that throne room disappears, with the whole scenery shifting into a vast void in space. After doing this, Zenshin begins to release more power. Sensing Zenshin's power, Goku Prime acknowledges that this battle will be dangerous, even for him. Zenshin, if he is not on the level of an Omniscient, is at least very close to it. Goku Prime had already found the people of this reality powerful, such as Gogeta and Vegito, for example. And as for Virus, he was able to injure him even while in the Shinken form, if Goku wasn't using a large extent of his Shinken power. But even with Virus, if Goku raised his Shinken power to higher levels, he could surpass the barriers of power of this reality and stand above Virus. However, with Zenshin, it's not like that. With Zenshin, even raising his Shinken power to the highest levels, Goku risks losing. Definitely, Zenshin can match the powers of an Omniscient. Zenshin confirms Goku's assumption and says that he is very close to becoming an Omniscient of the Lord of Chaos. He says that, on second thought, Goku Prime's presence here is a great opportunity, since if he kills Goku, the Lord of Chaos might promote him to Omniscient. Zenshin's palm shines, a glow so intense, it's as if he condensed multiple miniature stars within it. And then, space began to contort under the power of the fusion of the Supreme Angel and God, who evoked an ability called Flood of Singularities. Next, dozens, and then hundreds of micro black holes appeared in cascade, orbiting one another, and falling upon Goku like a devouring rain. Each sphere distorted gravity around it, bending light and tearing space-time apart as it advanced. Goku Prime clenched his fists amidst the crushing pressure. The instant the first gravitational cores collapsed upon him, his body moved on its own, floating as if dancing between the rifts of space. At a certain moment, Goku Prime opened his arms and, with a muffled shout, concentrated his Shinken aura into multiple shockwaves. The impact didn't destroy the black holes, but deflected them enough for them to collide with each other, imploding in flashes of cosmic energy. Goku Prime wasted no time. He dashed in an instant impulse, his body crossing the distance between him and Zenshin as if ignoring space itself. His aura of power compressed into a single point, his fist. The target of Goku Prime's punch was aimed at Zenshin's chest, carrying a force that reverberated beyond that reality, an attack meant to shatter even a being superior to that world. Goku didn't want to risk playing around in that dangerous fight. He wanted to finish his opponent once and for all. But Zenshin merely raised his fingers, and around his body appeared a translucent, spherical dome with an oddly calm energy. An ability manifested there that Zenshin called Dome of the First State. When Goku Prime's strike collided with the barrier around Zenshin, his force simply vanished, along with the powerful aura of energy enveloping his fist. It was as if Goku had never attacked at all. After his attack was frustrated, the Omniscient Saiyan stepped back, surprised. He understood what had happened. That defensive dome had simply made the energy he used for the attack return to its normal state before it was channeled into that offensive. It was as if Zenshin made his very attack return in time, to the moment when it had no strength at all. This was yet another confirmation that Zenshin is on the same level as him, because his abilities do in fact affect Goku, and can overpower him if he's not careful. But Goku Prime presses on and charges again, this time with even greater momentum. He challenges Zenshin to stop keeping his distance and face him hand to hand. And Zenshin decides to rise to the occasion, no longer resorting to abilities that keep them apart, but engaging in a direct exchange of blows. Space trembled with every shift in position, punches and kicks. A battle that reality had never seen before unfolds. Zenshin's consciousness split into 3 layers, an ability called Triple Instinct. Zenshin's body moved on its own, responding to what Goku Prime did with pure reflex. This is the first layer of his Triple Instinct, the physical layer, which resembles the standard Ultra Instinct, but at an even higher level, worthy of the half of Zenshin that is composed of the Supreme Angel. Zenshin's mind calculated Goku Prime's next step, cutting off his movement route before it was even completed. This is the second layer of Triple Instinct, the mental layer, characterized by a combat mind so advanced that, by pure instinct, Zenshin was already capable of foreseeing what Goku would do in battle. And the third layer of Zenshin's Triple Instinct was the auric layer, where the extremely powerful aura of the Supreme God and Angel itself responded to his instinct, making even the intent behind Goku Prime's strike be hindered by his instinct, causing Goku's movement to lose part of its force before touching him. It's a moral overlay. Dealing with Zenshin's triple instinct is a gigantic challenge, even for Goku Prime at the peak of his Shinken power. Very heavy strikes land, causing Goku Prime both internal and external injuries, and his blood begins to spill from Zenshin's blows. But of course, Goku didn't back down, and using his razor-sharp combat mind, with his abilities and perceptions heightened to the maximum by Shinken, Goku began to actually put pressure even on the triple instinct. After much effort, Goku managed to land his fist on Zenshin, but the sensation was strange, as if he had struck against something that shouldn't exist in that space. At that moment, Zenshin was already one step ahead. Literally, Zenshin's eyes flicker in the announcement of another ability, Future Advancement. In that micro instant, he pulls a probability of a favorable event for himself 3 seconds ahead. In other words, Zenshin just saw a positive possibility for himself in the future and brought it into the present. To Goku, it seemed like Zenshin was already in motion even before the attack began. The Saiyan launched a strike, but Zenshin was already behind him, his arm raised to deliver a descending blow. Goku barely had time to spin his body, blocking with his forearm. The force was colossal, slamming him against the void as if struck by a divine hammer. And this blow also generated massive internal pressure within Goku Prime's body, damaging his internal organs and even the balance of his ki. It was an attack both on a physical and spiritual level. Even so, Goku Prime does not cower. His body spins in the air to return toward Zenshin, resuming the exchange of blows. At first, Zenshin seems unshakable, but that starts to change. Goku advances with a strike. Zenshin had already foreseen the future of this attack and moved his body in a way to parry it. But at the exact moment Goku's strike met Zenshin's defense, he completely changed his attack, delivering a blow that Zenshin could not foresee, for the first time drawing blood from the Supreme God and Angel. Seeing the surprise marked on Zenshin's face, Goku says that his future advancement is not omnipotent. He pulls probabilities a few seconds ahead, but he needs to fit that future into the present at every instant. Goku Prime resumes attacking Zenshin, and as his blows begin to land in ways Zenshin cannot avoid, he explains his strategy. Goku had realized during the fight that between Zenshin's vision of the future and the actual execution of that future in the present, there is an inevitable, almost invisible micro delay. So, Goku started creating chained attacks with multiple layers, one strike hidden inside another. On top of that, using illusory powers he learned in the world of ninjas and pirates, called Genjutsu, Goku distorts Zenshin's perception of time to help bypass his superior divine senses. That way, Zenshin reacts to the first future he saw, but right afterward comes another strike he didn't foresee because, besides being devised at the last second, it was also masked from his senses thanks to some illusion. Thus, Goku Prime's strikes begin to hit the Supreme God and Angel. At first, he manages to land only isolated blows, but then he refines the strategy more and more and begins to bombard Zenshin with sequential strikes. Zenshin becomes extremely enraged at this and curses Goku Prime with all his fury. Zenshin's aura becomes unstable and he charges forward furiously to crush Goku Prime once and for all. But at that instant, Goku concentrates all his energy into a single punch, not a Kamehameha or any other flashy technique, just a punch containing his great Shinken power. Zenshin thinks about defending himself with one of his majestic techniques, but Goku traps him in a temporal loop cage at the last moment, preventing Zenshin from doing anything, and so the blow strikes Zenshin in the chest, piercing through his absolute body. The Supreme God and Angel spits out a roar of pain and disbelief, while cracks of light spread across his divine body. An enormous amount of energy begins leaking from his body, including the evil energy of the Lord of Chaos. And this evil energy leaking from Zenshin's body strangely begins to accumulate. And from the accumulation of this energy, a voice emerges. The evil energy begins to speak to Goku Prime, apparently wanting to give him a message, a direct message from the Lord of Chaos. The Lord of Chaos praises Goku for defeating this servant of his, and says that if Goku really wants to advance in this quest against his servants, he will guide Goku to the right place. After saying these things to Goku, this tangle of dark energy surges at him, trapping Goku Prime in a desperate way, a prison from which not even by using all his Shinken power can Goku break free, driving him into despair. Zenshin, because of the mortal wound he received from Goku, has his body completely destroyed, disintegrating in such a way that not a single trace remains. And as for Goku, he vanishes in an explosion of dark energy. And that's where this part of Dragon Ball Shinken comes to an end. What did you think of this epic battle between Goku Prime and the fusion of the Great Zeno and the Grand Priest? And what do you think the Lord of Chaos did with Goku? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy Dragon Ball Shinken and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next parts of this story here on the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't done it yet, because it really helps boost this video on the platform so that more people can discover Dragon Ball Shinken. And if you know someone who you think might enjoy this story, share share this video with them so more people can get to know Dragon Ball Shinken and help keep this story alive. Dragon Ball Shinken will only continue here on the channel if the videos of this story get a good amount of views. So your like, comment, share, and subscription are really important. And if you'd like to support Dragon Ball Shinken and the channel's projects even further, consider joining our Patreon. Starting from a very small amount, you're already helping us, and also get some exclusive channel perks, like early access to Dragon Ball Shinken videos. The link to our Patreon is in the video description and in the pinned comment. Click on it with no obligation and see if it interests you. Alright? Well, that's it. A big hug to you all, and see you in the next video.